Today we're going to talk about replacing a motor on an EF1 monitor. Before you begin, you're going to want to make sure you have a motor kit. It can either be the horizontal or the vertical. You'll want a pair of snap ring pliers, side cuts, 3mm Allen wrench, 1/4 inch Allen wrench, and a 1/2 inch drive with an extension, and then the service tool comes with the kit. First thing you're going to do is turn off power. At this point, you're going to remove the lid. Set that aside for later. So now you'll see you have your vertical motor and your horizontal motor. In this case, we're going to replace the vertical motor. The next step you do is to remove the cap. You just pry up on the edge. There's a little boss on both sides for both the vertical and the horizontal to remove that. Next, you'll need your snap ring pliers. Remove the snap ring, set it aside for later. Okay, once you remove the snap ring, you're ready to remove the drive shaft. So you'll need a 1/4 inch Allen wrench. And you simply rotate it until the drive shaft comes out. Take that, set it aside. Be careful, there is a bunch of gray grease on it that can make a mess. Next, you'll need your wrench and your service tool, and then you'll install it. It may take some force to get that loose, but you'll simply unthread it. And as you start to unthread it, you'll see the motor starts to move. So just kind of hold it to make sure it doesn't fall all over the place. So at this point, your motor is loose. It's got an inside thread here that secures the motor to the drive shaft, and it makes that transition. You'll also see that it's labeled vertical axis, and it's got a couple of zip ties on it to secure it. So you'll simply disconnect the two plugs and set it aside. So in this case, we're changing the vertical axis, so you will get the vertical motor. As you can see, the vertical motor comes pre-wired with the two connectors and the label. It is important to note that the horizontal and vertical motors are wired differently. That's why there's two separate kits. So at this point, you're ready to install the new motor. You'll notice it's got a location tab right here. So you would apply your Loctite to your female threads. You do get a vial of Loctite that comes in the kit. So that's what you'll use. So when installing the motor, you'll see the location tab. There's a notch for it that goes right here. So you want to make sure you get that nice and tight. So at this point, your motor has been installed. It's secure, so you can go ahead and plug in your connectors. At this point, you can take your zip ties and tie your wires back together to keep them secure. You want to make sure that this ferrite, which is this item right here with a vertical label, is tucked away from the circuit board, and then just secure it with your zip ties. At this point, the motor replacement has been completed. So go ahead and reinstall the drive shaft. And you'll see once you get to a certain point, it'll actually start to remove the elbow. Make sure that's good and snug. So now you're ready to install the snap ring. So just put it in your pliers. Do be careful, it can get away from you. So when you install that, you're going to just take an Allen wrench or a pick to make sure that's fully seated in there. And at this point, you're ready to put power to it and test it and make sure everything's working properly.